Hey, good morning, everybody. It's lovely to be with you today. I thought just in case I get boring, you can watch over my shoulder and watch our rugby academy and training. It's just so cool to have Ludi Van Staden back with us again. And he's spending a few weeks here out from Russia, where he's been training the Russian team there. And he's doing his thing with our boys. He's very loud, very noisy. So I'm sure you'll hear him over my voice. But great to be with you. We're in Mark chapter 8, and we're winding up the chapter today with a very sobering talk from Jesus. And this is what he says. He says, "Then he called the crowd to himself, along with his disciples, and he said, 'If anyone comes after me, he must deny himself and take up his cross and follow me.'" And I thought about that, and I thought actually the picture behind me is a picture of people who are denying themselves, people who want to achieve something, people who have a dream, people who have a goal. And nobody who ever wants to achieve anything without willing to make a sacrifice or two is ever going to really achieve that goal. If they do, it's probably by chance or by luck or by not necessarily good judgment. But in order to become what God wants us to be, there's an element of self-denial. And Jesus puts it this way. He says, if you want to follow me, take up your cross and follow me. You see, Jesus has already carried his cross. And we don't have to carry his anymore because it wasn't ours, it was his cross. And Jesus, in a sense, is saying, I have carried mine. Now there is a cross that you have to carry. And he's basically saying to us that the Christian life is full of challenges. It's full of issues of denial. It's full of putting self to death. Self has to die. And Jesus is not hiding anything from us. He's telling us the truth, people, that if we follow him, we have to take up our cross and follow him. You see, there's a cross with your name on. And if that's one thing you need to do, you need to do it. You need to pick up your cross. You can't carry mine. You can't carry Jesus's. You carry your own. Now you say to me, how will I know if I am carrying my cross? Well, I suggest a couple of things. I'll just deal with one today. And that is, you'll know you're carrying the cross when you can look behind you and you can see that you've left a whole lot of stuff behind. Have a look at Matthew, or the Matthew when he was called by Jesus as a tax collector. He knew within seconds of saying, I'm going to follow Jesus, that he was following Jesus because he could look behind him and he could see that he'd left his table full of money that he had ripped people off. All of a sudden, he died to that stuff. All of a sudden, those things meant nothing to him. And he said, Jesus, I'm willing to sacrifice all of that, to deny myself of that which I once held to be so important. I'm willing to deny myself of the things that I used to think were so valuable, and now I choose to follow you. And he knew he was following Jesus because he could look behind and see what he had left behind. Have a look at the disciples, the fishermen. Jesus said, hey guys, come follow me. And it says, immediately they left their nets and they followed him. Now, exactly the same thing. Immediately, they could look behind themselves. They'd only been following him for 30 seconds, and they knew they were following him because they could look behind. And they could say, man, look what we have left behind. We've left our old way of life. We left our own sources of income. We've left all the agendas and the vision and the goals of the past in order to follow Christ. One of the greatest Old Testament examples I would encourage you to read is the example we find in 1 Kings chapter 19. It's a story of the call of Elisha. And Elijah went to Elisha, and he said, Elisha, would you come and follow me and be my disciple, as it were? And Elisha said, yep, that's what I want to do. Then you read what Elisha did. How extreme was that which he left behind. It says he first of all said, I'm going to go and kiss my parents goodbye because I need to break ties with the things that I thought were so important. And parents are important. I take nothing from that. But he had to break his tie there. Then he took his 12 oxen. He was a wealthy man. Not many people had 12 oxen in those days. He was plowing with them. He killed those oxen. He burnt them. He basically sacrificed them to God and said, God, in order to follow you, I need to leave my ability to look after myself. I'm leaving my oxen. He took his plow and he smashed it to pieces and he burnt the thing. He says, I am burning my bridges. Now, I love that. Oh man, I love that. The fact that his call to follow Christ was just so overwhelmingly powerful. He says, I don't care what it costs me. I don't care what I have to deny myself. I will choose to follow him. Now, as Elisha did that with Elijah, Jesus calls us to do the same thing. This cross is not a comfortable thing. If you see somebody walking down the road carrying a cross, you know that they're not going on a picnic. You know that they're carrying their cross in order to die. That was what was happening in those days. If you were seen walking down the road with a cross, people said, that guy's going to die. He's going to be hanging upon that cross and they're going to kill him. And it's a picture, it's a graphic picture of the magnitude of the decision that we make to follow Jesus. Now, Jesus was speaking to a big crowd when he said these words. He was talking to a bunch of, we call it fans. Jesus had a lot of fans. People who followed him because they liked him and they cheered for him and they, way to go, Jesus, and heal us, Jesus, and feed us, Jesus, and give us stuff, Jesus. And while Jesus was performing for them, they were just his fans. Jesus is never impressed with fans who try and follow him to get something out of him. Sadly, people, and I've been doing this a while now, there's a lot of fans out there. There's a lot of fans who are thinking, well, I just follow Jesus because I want him to heal me. I want to follow Jesus because I want to be prosperous. I want to follow Jesus because I want to have plenty of stuff. And they miss the point. You don't follow Jesus to be a fan. If you want to be a follower, you've got to pick up your cross. And then it adds this, daily. The Luke account says, daily, every day. You pick up your cross, you count the cost to follow Jesus. You put a smile on your face and you say, for this reason I live. And watch what God does in your life. Man, that's what makes a true believer. Hope you're not a fan today. Just kind of checking out Jesus, see what I can get from him. Everybody else is saying it's cool. It's not cool sometimes. It's awesome. But I have to tell you, people, it comes at a price. I really hope, I really pray that you're willing to pay that price. Have a fantastic day, people, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye.